even with the Pango, I'm not sure if it's quite enough to get rid of those illusions. Like, it's definitely a good way to do it, but, oh, Skyrath Mage pops out now, and I believe that is something Q does enjoy playing. So, could be quite devastating for Team Dog to have to play into that. Obviously, the Pango and Lena, both of which don't like playing into the Ancient Seal. It's not very fun for them, and see how it does work out. I'm always kind of mixed about the Skyrath. It still does feel very, very weak, even though we have been seeing it pop up a bit more as of late. And Team Dog, now they have a carry that can kind of just deal with the Skyrath. You just haunt, and if you jump on the Skyrath, he's just dead. There's no way about it. It's,
Yep.
He's a very, very squishy kind of support with 0 base armor, might I add.
Yeah, it really is. I still see some ways for MG.Trust to run this, though. Big thing is Clock Sky combo. That is actually pretty darn scary. Hookshot in, Cogs up, Mystic Flare on top. And nearly anyone caught inside is going to be dead with a silence on top. If you don't get the silence off, Pangolier should be able to jump out, Spectre can dagger out, so it can be dicey. And talking about that, that means Spectre's Manta timing is going to be important for survivability here in Team Dog. Our Pangolier as well, maybe looking at Guardian Greaves or Lotus Orb to get that self-purge off, maybe even a Yules. We'll see what the game plan is. Of course, there is some flexibility here on the laning for Team Dog. Looks like we should be expecting the Ice Pango coming through. I think they're going to have to run the Lina and Undying support, unless Abed just takes the Lina. And they run the Undying Pango support with a last pick hero for Ice, perhaps. Could be an option if they want to flex it off. But options are starting to grow limited with their draft, so going to have to start hammering in there. MG.Trust, on the other hand, have a lot of flexibility in closing out their draft. Last pick left for Fearless. You do see the Kunkka and Ember being taken out here. So we're going to have to see what else Fearless is going to go for. I'd say the Void Spirits in the pool. That's something we know Fearless plays really well. They wanted a high mobility hero to come out. And kind of ties in with that Skyrath Mage really nicely as well, right? Long range reach, Remnant to set up the Mystic Flare. Easy way to find pickoff. So you give yourself 2 options there to play with that Mystic Flare.
We might have both spirits popping up, John. I mean, the Void Spirit and the Storm Spirit are both available right now. So I could see Fearless going for the Void Spirit, and I could see Abed going into the Storm Spirit this game. Assuming it isn't banned out now by Motivate.Trust, which they definitely could go for if they wish. For now, only going for the Puck ban. But I could certainly see the Storm being picked up here by Abed. Does seem like a nice way to just kind of deal with the Morphling later on, but they do ban it out. Motivate don't want to have to play up against that, but the Void Spirit was available, of course. And Abed does take it now, so Fearless, it's going to be a matter of what he wants to play up against that Void Spirit. And, what do you want now?
10 seconds
No Spirit Brothers left unless Earth Spirit comes out. Underlord is the name of game.
Okay.
Who's playing that? Is that still
Might be.
Fearless? Could be.
I think it might
Right?
be.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a solid laner against the Void Spirit. Like, it's not going to get bullied out by the Void Spirit, so Fearless should be able to hold his own. It's another combination with the Skyrath Mage. Pet of Malice into the Mystic Flare is pretty darn scary, and it plays really nicely with a Cogs lockdown of the Clockwork. So a lot of good combinations here for MG.Trust. Nothing too flashy, but it can get the job done. Team Dog, though, do have this long timer, kind of a ticking time bomb on IYD. Spectre just needs to get that Blade Mail, build up the farm. You need some space out from the rest of your team, but with a Lina and an Undying, with a Pango and a Void Spirit, there should be enough space there. They can start fighting early on the side of Team Dog. That's what they need to do. This time, restrain that aggression on Abed. Don't overcommit on under the tier 1. So although this time around the Chaos Knight should be a bit more manageable, they've got options there. Even jumping the supports early on, feeding off of those kills, should be one way for Team Dog to escalate. So a much more fast-paced draft for Team Dog as a whole, except for the Spectre, whereas MG.Trust, no flashy big ults, but very straightforward combos. Going to be exciting to see how Death performs on the CK this time around. And of course, you do give Savage this comfort pick in the Morphling. He's going to be very happy with that hero.
And he will be. Game number 2 will begin now. Final game of the night. Shout out to everyone watching, by the way. It's been very fun with the viewers, of course. Chat's always a good laugh. They've been making me say very rude words in Filipino today, but it's okay. I'll forgive them. Poor
as
old
it should
mods
be.
have been working overtime because of my antics, John. Shout out to the mods as well, doing God's work in the chat.
Oh, absolutely. Seeing some internet issues here. If you hit that enter button, Mike, you can see Fearless and Abed have been on and off in the game. So rather unfortunate, but both sides, both teams having some connection issues, as you tend to see. It is Southeast Asia, as is tradition.
As is tradition. I'd have it no other way, John. Absolutely no other way. Hopefully it won't take too long.
Yeah. You know, I'm curious. Have you ever seen a ghost form of the Morphling? You know, one of those ghost packs? Does he even have a ghost form? What would ghostly water look like?
I imagine he does, John. I personally haven't seen it myself. So, I don't know, we'll find out.
What would it look like? I feel like it would look the same, because he's already blue and translucent. So I don't think there's going to be any major... Maybe he glows a bit, because there's a slight glow. That'd be something.
It's Morphling, John. We can't afford the, what do you call them? Not the pixels, the polygons.
Particle effects. Yeah, the polygons, yeah, no.
Can't afford
Just
that.
a solid blob.
It's too much.
Can't have it. Can't have him flowing like water. You gotta make him blocky like a rock for some reason. I love this start from Savage. You know, he's leaving it on attribute shift and just takes me back. Takes me back to when a different Jackie used to be in Southeast Asia. He used to just do this, leave it there. Stuck on attribute shift agility, leave it on for the sound. So he knows. I miss that.
I actually saw Savage the other day. He was hitting a tower, and every time he hit a tower, he would press the Morph Agi button as the attack animation was going to hit the tower, and I was like, Savage, it's not the way it works. You don't need to press the button every time, but that's what he was doing, turning it off and on, off and on. Or Fearless. Gonna get chased down a little bit. Ice, and Paulson trying to get some very early damage in, and they do get a substantial amount out. Already over half the HP of Fearless has disappeared. He might actually run all the way back to the fountain. Like, no, he won't. He'll just passively regen near the tower. Go for the creep block. He does not want to give any kind of advantage away to Abed on this Void Spirit.
He's going to have to work double time on the Underlord. Abed is going to hit some earlier spikes. It is a Void Spirit. You've got a good amount of damage. You've got great wave clear with Resonant Pulse. Good ways of kind of mitigating physical damage exchanges as well. So our Underlord's not going to be able to trade in right clicks. Fearless needs to just really be cautious. Use his Firestorm as best as he can. And perhaps just go for that standard Firestorm Atrophy build. Maybe a value point in the Malice down the line if he gets a rotation. Should be a steady farming lane. No real excitement you can expect from these two heroes, as it's going to be a solid lane. You can take a look at the bot lane. Boombell already dropping low. This lane should be a lot better for Team Dog. Afu on the Lina does have superior range, and the early damage from Ice with a Swashbuckle is something to watch out for. So Savage and Boombell going to be off to a slower start until they get some levels up, particularly Savage's level 3. With the attribute shift, that's when he's kind of safe in the lane.
Absolutely. The top lane, the one we haven't really talked about yet, Paulson and In Your Dream, up against Death and Q. Now, this could also be a very scary lane for In Your Dream, as if you do get rifted into the stun, the damage that can be pumped out, especially with Q alongside spamming out Arcane Bolts, could be quite devastating for In Your Dream. Suppose with Paulson around, though, you're always going to have the Soul Rip there, which will probably mean that In Your Dream won't quite die. But at the same time, Death might be able to kind of influence the farm of In Your Dream this lane.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a back and forth lane. In Your Dream so far, though, isn't under too much pressure. you're probably looking for Q's levels here. Like level 2 is up, has the Arcane Bolt with a concussive, but you want the value point in that Ancient Seal to really hammer in some kill potential. Still takes a nice courier, so you're going to have to watch how you ferry out these items, as Q can kind of play tag. He does have really good move speed base, so that is one way to kind of get it started. But so far, all the lanes kind of going out well, although they jump Paulson.
They do, and poor old Paulson, he just had a clarity cancelled by Q, and it looks like it won't matter anyways. He might die, but no, he'll salve up. It's like, is it worth staying alive here for Paulson? It feels like you'd just rather die right now as the Undying. You're stuck with no regen. You've got 3 mangoes there, and he's going to go for a TP back to the fountain. So doesn't want to give the First Blood gold away, but in terms of like the effectiveness of this Undying, you're going to miss out on a lot of the laning stage just trying to run back to the lane.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice there from Paulson. That does leave In Your Dream really vulnerable as well. He's just going to cop a lot of damage. He's going to need a reset by the time this Undying walks back.
He might be
and
dead.
It's going to be a slower start.
Oh no, cute. Couldn't get another Arcane Bolt off, and actually bot lane is where the First Blood happens. Ice able to pick it up onto Boombill. And with Boombill gone, of course, they could definitely just start harassing out Savage. Savage has hit that level 3 mark on the morph, so the chances are he's not going to die. But they can certainly just try and make it as hard as humanly possible for him to be able to farm up in this lane now.
Yeah, they are starting to apply that pressure. They're hitting the level spikes here on the side of Team Dog. And just getting that First Blood sort of makes it worthwhile to waste those blinks. And oh, Savage.
He's gone back in again, but yeah, at the level 3 mark with the Strength Morph, you're just not going to die. Not that easily anyway. How's mid lane going now? It's like Fearless is trying to force Abed away from the lane. Abed is going to hope and pray that the bot rune spot is going to give him power rune, but it is not. It is going to be up top, and he would love that regen rune right now, but he's probably not going to be able to make it in time, as Fearless is the one to go ahead and pick it up. And, he's going to enjoy that now, being able to spam out the Firestorm whenever he wants. He can pop that regen rune whenever.
Just a steady farming lane once more. Abed is not really lagging behind, but certainly getting denied off a little bit more as you'd expect. You are still hitting some decent spikes here for Abed, so you will be able to hit 6 at good point.
They just hit Savage so much, John. Eventually he ran out of strength to morph into, and now even Boombill's going to go down. On the brighter side, for Motivate.Trust, they do end up getting the kill onto Paulson top lane, but it's not really going to matter as Savage is having a very tough time, and now even Death and Q are low. In Your Dream, not going to feel too threatened here. Can even run down and secure those 5-minute bounty runes for himself.
Yeah, pretty big wins overall for Team Dog. Much better early game start coming out here, winning out in trades, giving Ice this really commendably fast start. Does have the Urn up already on the Pangolier as well, so it should be a quick ramp up into the rest of his items. That is something to watch out for. Death, and he's still trying to pressure In Your Dream. It's just not amounting to much. With Dispersion up at level 2, In Your Dream is slightly tankier with reflecting some of that damage back. So it's going to be harder to pierce through, but they keep going.
They do. And on the brighter side of MG.Trust, Fearless is having a pretty decent time on the Underlord. Problem is, Abed hasn't really felt the pressure, which might make it so this Underlord pick doesn't really feel that impactful yet. Meanwhile, Savage again going to be in trouble, but we'll be able to waveform away this time around. But as I was saying, when you pick up the Underlord, you kind of really want to make it so you can deny out the other laner, not allow them to have a free lane and have as much farm as possible. But Abed, he's got 40-1. He has not struggled in this mid lane.
It's down to the fact that Abed does have some pretty good wave clear as well with his Resonant Pulse. There have been no rotations from supports to help you really hammer in an advantage over Abed. And he's been a lot more cautious. I think he's just been zipping in Resonant Pulse, maybe aiming for as many creeps as he can, pull them back. Lane control's been really even. And that's exactly how Abed is going to work out this lane. He has his level 7 up. He's got perhaps an opportunity to rotate if he wanted to, but so far they're just satisfied getting the side lanes out like this.
Boombill again going to go down to the bot lane. This bot lane becoming a real disaster for Motivate.Trust. LSA going to land again. Ice dishing out more damage onto Savage. Savage just having to morph so much strength to remain in this lane. He does not have any regen apart from the stick charges left. He will use the stick charges and will be able to keep going in the lane. You start to wonder how long this can keep up for Savage. They are not slowing down every single time they see him. They just keep pumping out more harassment. All he can really rely on right now is the stick charges that he does have.
It's just such a hard start. And even up top, that every time they jump halts and he's just gone now. Not enough levels on the Undying to really sustain. So a bit of a back and forth. This is still a net win for Team Dog. Just the fact that Savage can't farm here is already enough.
Bot lane again. Clockwork is there with the cogs. Fearless around. Boombill is going to go down, but they do get the leaner. Now Ice wants to go for a Rolling Thunder back in onto Fearless. He needs to land the hit once. He won't get it yet. He's going to go back around. Fearless trying to juke him out. Swashbuckle there, but it's not going to be enough damage. He did need a hit with the Rolling Thunder to really get the kill secured. Look at Savage and Fearless just kind of hugging each other in the tree line. Oh, Ice is very, very close. Is not going to be able to get the kill. Oh, Savage. TP's mid lane. He might be in trouble again. Arbit couldn't get there in time for the hero, but we'll be able to get the courier of 23 Savage. Motivate.Trust still. Oh, Fearless shows up again in the bot lane. I thought he would have just left, but Ice, he'll accept the free kill.
Yeah, and Team Dog now are the ones that get to pull ahead in this early game. A bit of a flip from game one. 3-6, less than 1k lead going to the side of Team Dog. A lot of free farm being secured here for In Your Dream. So our Spectre is off to a really good start. Blade Mail can be up relatively soon. And once you have that, of course, you are set to just flash farm on the spec. You do see MG.Trust drag the numbers up top. It's about that time where tier 1s are going to be targeted. Of course, they are already going bot, although IYD.
Yeah, IYD going to be in trouble. In Your Dream going to try and just run away with the Spectral Dagger, but the damage is going to be out. Ice now with the rotation, gets a Rolling Thunder off and is going to focus down Boombill. Will eventually be able to get the kill now back in onto Paulison. Death and Q going to be able to get a double kill for the Skywrath. Overall, definitely a very nice kind of trade here for Motivate.Trust up at the top lane.
Yep, they win out, they slow down In Your Dream. He was being left alone for a bit too long, so they're stalling out his progression. Does have his Blade Mail up. I don't think In Your Dream is going to mind too much. Does make his way bot as well, so still looking for the tier 1 tower trades coming out. They did manage to defend top despite those losses, so no progression on the map here for MG.Trust. They are a lot closer to losing their own tier 1 bot here, and MG.Trust, all they can really do right now is just keep farming up. Savage has got space down mid. Abed is 2 levels ahead though, so this is not the safest time for him, but is playing on the edge and has his Morbid Mask to get some regen out anyway.
We haven't really seen many rotations out from Abed on the Void Spirit, which is kind of intriguing. It's been very, very quiet. He's actually queued up a 4-star, interestingly enough. Go back onto Savage. They do have Ice there as well. Savage going to go back in onto Arbit. Going to try and fight this one out with Fearless TPing in. One of Atos there onto Fearless as well. They really want this kill onto Ice, and they will get it with the Mystic Flare. Savage still going back onto Paulison. Paulison very low. Will die to the Simulate damage. Now Arbit might just have to back off, but Boombill gets a nice hookshot out onto Arfu. They will get a 3rd kill. And Arbet going back in for the kill onto the Clockwork, but that may cost him his own life. He will barely be able to get away now. In Your Dream will haunt in to try and get them off his mid laner. He does, but they will be able to get a substantial amount of damage into this mid tier 1 tower.
That's going to be a nice objective for them to chip away at. There are respawns though. These are very low levels, so they're back up for the defense.
Yeah, Ice just going to go straight for the Rolling Thunder back into Fearless, who does get the Dark Rift off. That is a very long kind of duration Dark Rift, but he should be able to get away. Nice little play out from Fearless. He'll leave everyone else behind. Although the side of Team Dog had a great start to this game, it seems like they have slowly lost it in these most recent skirmishes.
Yeah, it's they've been dropping way too many important heroes for those exchanges. They are still trying to flash farm within your dream though. So he is #1 in that word, and I suppose that's the one thing Team Dog's trying to do: secure a start for the Spectre, which you could say they've done. It's coming at the cost of every other hero. Although Abed and Isis Ice aren't too far behind. It's not a massive lead for MG.Trust. 1k their way, 8-8, 12.5 minutes in. A lot more room to grow, but MG.Trust are smoked up with 2 supports. They've got the hook shot ready, and they've got the Mystic Flare ready to go as well.
That's all you need sometimes. Abed. Oh, ate the Remnant, perfectly timed. So, had he not done that, he may have been just dead. They did have the Ancient Seal there. Dead. Hit Malice going to be placed down with the run of ATOS out. Not really going to lead to much though. Looks like Boombell and Q are still waiting around. They could try for Arbet, and they will. The hookshot is out. Ancient Seal with the Mystic Flare. Arbet not paying respect to the combo. Maybe forgetting that Ancient Seal does exist on Skyrath, and well, he will die.
Yeah, really good movement out. Still not giving up in the mid.
Bit of Malice comes in, Rod of Atos there. Death now going to rotate as well. Oh, nice Phantasm dodge on the Rolling Thunder. Eventually it will hit, however, and Death still trying to juke this one out, but he has gone a bit too far and will end up paying for it. Meanwhile, Savage wants that Tombstone gold. He will go back into Arfu, and he will get that gold that he wanted. Plus 125 for Savage. There's now another nice bit of Malice, Rod of Atos to come out. Light Striker Ray going to land onto Savage, but he does get the Undying form now. Meanwhile, Arbed trying to play around with the supports, might just die for his trouble, but will barely be able to get away. Spoonbell, Spectral Dagger, going to follow him down, does get the kill. They still want to keep fighting though. Pit of Malice is out. Savage keeps going onto the Undying, and with the waveform, he will be able to get the kill onto Polison, but now they might be able to turn around back on the Morphling. Savage was dropping low, but is going to be fine. In fact, they will stick around and continue going into that mid-tier 1 tower.
Yeah, it's a long, drawn-out fight. MG.Trust does win at the end, and they find the objective. So they manage to clear the mid-tier 1, opening up the forays into the jungle. This does leave In Your Dream a bit vulnerable, as he is going to be limited to his triangle now for farm. Is still farming up good, but the rest of his team now is definitely lagging behind. Abed falling behind Death, even in Ice as well. Starting to trail. Don't want to have these heroes drop too far for the Spectre, as you need them to make some plays here.
Things are getting very scary here for the side of Team Dog. Watch out for that Pit of Malice and the Rod of Atos. Tombstone going to be casually dropped there by Polison. It's not going to lead to much. Arbed doesn't have any astral steps right now, so it's kind of hard to imagine him jumping in. They're going to try onto Q. Laguna will be enough to take Q out. They'll get something for their trouble. That'll pretty much be it.
It's a pretty big pickup in the end, though. That's a massive streak on Q, worth 400 gold. So really nice pickup for Afu. Should help him save up for his own Aether Lens. Just kind of lined up there. Once you've got that, easier to land the LSA, easier to set up for your team on Afu. It's going to be good for him to get that spike up. Still, for the most part, MG.Trust working this map well. Farming in that upper jungle really aggressively. They don't have complete control. They're sharing that space with the side of Team Dog. Could be in for a nasty surprise if they run into IYD. No real backup for Savage here beyond Death.
Well, Abed mid lane jumping in straight onto both supports. Does kill off Boombill. In Your Dream might haunt in for Q, but looks like he will not. Meanwhile, Fearless, looks like he had to Dark Rift out of the bot lane. It's getting very dangerous over there. Onto Savage. It's going to be alright. And overall, with all this time that's been used up in your dream, freely farming up is going to have the Manta up soon. Things are starting to look a little bit scarier as time goes on. You start to wonder, can they deal with the Spectre with this Morphling in the late game?
I reckon they can. I don't think Savage is too worried about the Spectre going late. At least, talking about late around 30 minutes or 35. I think when it drags on to the 50-minute marks when you start to worry a bit. But for now, they're still within a timing that Savage is comfy with. They're still getting some items up. We still have to see Det pick up his Ags. You have to remember that item isn't up yet. And once it is, well, it's a completely different story coming out from our CK. And this is where the Spectre can kind of fall flat. There's just not enough to clear out, although Fearless here.
He's going in. Does have the help of his supports behind him. They're looking for a hook shot, but now Ice. He's going to go back in with the Rolling Thunder. Oh, hook shot not going to land either. Burnbell just barely missing out on that one. Q's going to die to Polison. And now MG.Trust need to try and make a run for it. On the brighter side, they only lose Q. Team Dog just still buying more and more time. But as I say that, the Axe is up now. So, see how much of a difference this one makes. Like this Undying might be in trouble. Ice sticking around, but the Phantasm does come out now. Paulison going to be the first victim of it. And this could be the point where, you know, if you're Team Dog, you start to get a little bit worried about this. Ice. Get pulled in. Oh, the 4-second stun as well.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, no getting out of that one.
That's value. Immediate reveal of the Ags leading to a double kill for death. This is that turning point for that CK, and you've got to be careful with his power spike, Team Dog. You want to tempt fate here.
We're going to be able to TP out just in the nick of time. Mid lane, Savage will show. Are they going to jump in for a cheeky little astral step, but that's going to be it as a hook shot comes in. Burnbell perfect, but they can't lock him down long enough. Astral step, however, or rather Aether Remnant does get Arfil. Now Savage in the middle of all this, trying to go after Arbed. He is dropping low. Arbed still rooted up, does go down. Can they keep going for more? Horn is going to be out there, chasing down Q. In fact, no, they'll turn back around onto the Morphling, but the Dark Rift going to be out from Fearless just in the nick of time. No. Savage is going to die. He gets everyone else out, but they lost their main carry. And it's not going to feel too great for MG.Trust.
It's not the fight they were looking for. Does end up, in terms of raw net worth, being a bit more worthwhile for MG.Trust. Losing Savage does hurt. Now, that's a lot of gold going onto In Your Dream. He does have his Manta style up, so he's a lot more flexible now on the Spectre, in a really good spot to help out. But they can just keep playing aggressive. Like, every single time Det has his Phantasm up, they should be looking for plays, and Det is just running around the map.
Nice. Gonna get rifted in again by Death, and it really doesn't take too long once he does have you in his grasp.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, it is.
Just a combination. The reach, you know, the Reality Rift into the stun with the Mystic Flare follow-up. You do not want to be in the way of the CK, and this is where Team Dog, you question the Pangolier. It's really not paying off yet in terms of clearing out these illusions. It will take a little bit more time. Even Afu with his Lina doesn't quite clear them out with his magic damage, so you need a little bit more in the tank for Team Dog. MG.Trust, beyond the Ags on Death, they do need more items out in Savage. He is saving up for the shotgun, which is going to be nice, but it's not coming out fast enough. Definitely lagging behind In Your Dream. The only core keeping up with that Spectre is Fearless, but that's not necessarily the hero you want to have the most farm in your team with.
Team Dog rotate through the top lane now. It seems like they've gone for a bit of a smoke up. They might actually run into 23 Savage, who is going to show up in this top lane. Rolling Thunder is going to be there. Light Strike already landing, and the Laguna, they get Savage. Ice now running into Fearless. They don't have a Dark Rift for another few seconds. It looks like Fearless is not going to have time anyway. He might give it a crack, or maybe not. 2 cores going down for Motivate.Trust once again. And time is a ticking. Roshan's going to be taken, and this Spectre is getting a little bit too big for comfort.
Definitely is. They've left In Your Dream far too long to farm up. This Aegis Assault is going to complicate the process in terms of hunting IYD. Death has not been able to really maximize the Phantasm on him, although he is going to try to go.
I don't think Death can do this on his own. Well, he can get Polison, that's the start, but the Aegis is now on In Your Dream, and Death could be in a spot of danger. They'll try to Arbet, but he's got the Yules up and will avoid the stun. They ripped him back in. Arbet still just trying to run away. Now the Haunt comes out In Your Dream. They'll get Boombell onto Death. The CK will not survive through this. Savage will be able to at least kill off Arbet, but he did just use that waveform and now needs a way out. In fact, maybe he needs a way back in. They want our food, but in Ice, getting the Rolling Thunder, going back after the Morphling, of course, is not going to be enough to actually kill him off, but Ice is going to be able to just roll away and eventually TP back home.
And that's a really big win there for Team Dog. Aegis secured. They managed to get a couple of kills for their trouble as well. And In Your Dream, not quite the biggest Spectre yet, but still top of net worth. Still slowly building into that Scotty. And is going to be a massive issue. We still haven't seen Death really hammer in on the bigger cores. It's mainly been Ice is the biggest one he's been locking in. Maybe Abed on the offhand if he does catch him out. But they really need to hunt In Your Dream. It feels like they've left him in the jungle for too long while they've had this power spike, and now they're paying the price. Should see a smoke come out, and they do, but now you have to deal with 2 lives in the Spectre. Could be a bit risky.
Well, Abed rooted up, does get the 4-staff away. Now the Phantasm Abed, poor guy, has to put up with all this damage coming out from Death, and Boombell gets a great hook shot in. Polison in a spot of danger is going to drop as well. No way out of that one. Very back and forth game as Death once again into Arfu now is going to find a 3rd target. And he is very good on this CK.
He is. He's delivering the goods. Still not finding the biggest heroes, but this is an opportunity now to get a bit of a push going. Going down mid, they've already forced the Fortify out. Fearless does have a lot of right-click damage from the Atrophy, so it shouldn't take too long. Team Dog aren't in position to counterfight yet. Haunt is down for 40 seconds. There is a double damage that is going to be on In Your Dream though, so he might look to make something happen with the Aegis up. But looks like he's just going to focus on that farm. MG.Trust take 2 objectives. Top tower was taken as well, and that does help balance the map out a bit more. 3k lead now on MG.Trust. Just need to wait for Savage to be online. Shotgun almost done. About 600 gold behind from getting that Eagle song up. So you will have more burst damage coming out from Savage, and that's going to be very important for him to start getting these kills on the map.
They're going to smoke up again. Bell going to be caught up with this top bounty rune spot. The Aether Remnant is going to be there from Arbet, and that should mean Boombell's just going to die, but a nice hook shot out. He does actually make it out of there. Very nice little play there from Boombell. With all this time that's been had, Savage does have the shotgun up. That may be cue to smoke up here for Motivate.Trust. Problem is, at the same time, In Your Dream does get an Eye of Skadi up. So now they've got a very nice way of dealing with the Morphling's strength morphing.
Dog.
Smoke up. They have the Haunt as well. Boombell going to break the smoke. Shotgun is there, but the Undying does survive. Boombell going to die along with Polison. Meanwhile, Arbet kills off Arfu. They go on to Ice. He's dropping low, still having the Rolling Thunder, but cannot get it off in time. And now Death is running down In Your Dream. They want the big one. They want that Spectre. With the stun out and the Rift, it's still not going to be enough. Savage goes in. Shotgun ready to go. They won't pop it yet. In fact, they go for Arbet instead. In Your Dream being slowed up by the concussive, but it is not enough. Going to be able to get out of there. Still a very close game here, 23-20. And that team fight was a 1-for-3 trade in the favor of Motivate.
Yeah, it's just the right time to pull back for MG.Trust. The Aegis was still up. It is going to expire soon. So In Your Dream as well going to be very happy that he isn't going to be forced to fight anytime soon. Does lose the haunt. It's going to be a big one. There's an opening here for MG.Trust to go back in after this reset. Phantasm will be up in about 8 seconds. So if Def wanted to group up once more, they could find that kill. It looks like MG.Trust for now is going to focus on the bot lane. Get some more towers out. Get an easy tier 1. Team Dog. Aegis does expire now. So In Your Dream, if he does go in the front, has to be cautious.
Abed. Astral steps in onto the clock. Another easy kill. They do get Boom Bill into Savage now. Morphling. It's not a bother. In Your Dream getting started. The strength morphing has begun. Still Laguna is going to come out. Arfu doing a lot of damage. And they do get the kill. Fearless just trying to Dark Rift out. Will be fine. But he could not get his carry out of there. That's going to hurt Fearless just a little bit.
Yeah, that's a very big pickup for Team Dog, punishing Savage for just being up too front for that tier 1. Just a bit too long. Although...
Oh, Death gets Ice.
Tell me someone slaughtered. Tell me someone slaughtered.
Yeah, they needed Death to be closer earlier on. I think if Death was around, they could definitely have turned that fight with Illusion. Still looking for an opportunity here while Death is up. Nice kill in the courier. That was the Ags. Abed just being denied at least this point.
Yeah, that it was. Abed might actually get denied off himself here if he's not too careful, but he will dissimulate away back into Q and does get the kill. Onto Fearless they go. Fearless just going to go for a run. But he has been slowed up by that Eye of Skadi, and it looks like he is not getting out of this one. More kills to come for Team Dog. Well, they can go after this tier 1 mid tower now. It's been a long time coming.
Yep, takes them a while, but can get started. Fortify is popped out. MG.Trust need to really be careful. They're bleeding out their lead. In Your Dream is still the #1 net worth hero. Has been consistent throughout this entire game. So the Spectre investment is really paying off here. In Your Dream just holding on to 3k gold in the bank, waiting for what to build next. Perhaps looking at the Basher Abyssal, and he does queue it up. Once you have that, again, additional control coming out for our Spectre. Additional tankiness as well coming in. And you just don't have that same durability yet in Savage. He's going for the Satanic next, which is going to give him a good amount of strength. But with no BKB, it does feel like he's always in a risk when he's up front of being controlled, being damaged down by the Void Spirit, by the Pangolier, and by the Lina. Perhaps some spell immunity down the line for any hero in MG.Trust would be big. No one has BKBs, in fact, in this entire game. So both sides just confident enough to just keep getting hit. Could bite them in the bomb down the line, but the smoke is out in MG.Trust.
Scanning for enemies.
30-minute runes are spawning up. Smoke in from Motivate, but it's going to lead to really nothing. Apart from a couple of bounties. 3k net worth lead still standing there for Motivate. Gonna move in now to the other side of that die triangle. Ahmed gonna be focused down, but Death gonna get stunned up by Ice. Savage will go in, back straight onto Pulse. In fact, no, they'll go after another. It's gonna be Fu going down, but the buyback is there. In Your Dream, an absolute mess here, but Death is dropping low. Meanwhile, Ahmed being controlled up by the Skywrath. There is just so much going on. Boombill is going to die. Death also goes down. Reality Rift Away has left Savage behind. Uh-oh. In Your Dream on a godlike spree now, and I'm not sure what happened to Fearless there. I believe he got 4-staffed out. And yeah, Arfu actually 4-staffed Fearless away.
Ooh, that's painful. Team Dog coming out on top. They were the ones in the defensive. MG.Trust again just constantly forcing out these fights without respecting the control and damage in Team Dog. I don't know if they can keep doing this without a form of spell mean to you. The Remnant holds are too big. The stun and damage out from Afu is too much. Even the control and damage from Ice is really starting to be a big factor. So, kind of falling flat. Abed does get to finish up his Ags now. Gonna be flying out soon. You're gonna have to contend with AoE silence as well. And we are still waiting for MG.Trust to finish up that Satanic and Savage. That's the closest thing we have. Going for that status resist on the Satanic. Might not be enough to tank through. We'll see when it does come out. You are also looking for the Silver Edge here on Death, which is still a ways off. So the item progression has stalled out compared to Team Dog. They are really starting to pull ahead here with their Spectre. Abyssal for In Your Dream is just about done. 700 gold away from the recipe. That's just going to be such a huge spike for the Spectre. Also almost at the level 25 talent as well. So you're going to have to contend with more Dispersion or more Haunt Illusion damage down the line. And In Your Dream has basically been unchecked. He's 9-1. Besides that one laning that, he's been fine.
Yeah, and he's going to have that Abyssal Blade up very, very soon. Eggman is that much worse. Oh, Boombo tries to go for a hook shot, is going to miss, and now Death is going to be targeted. They want the CK dead first. He's trying to survive through this, but Ice has so much control. They are going to take down the CK. Hauntin now. They're actually going after. Ice has found the rest, but they are going to get out of there, and meanwhile Boombo got left behind. Into the Roshan they go. I believe that's the second Roshan of the game. It is definitely going to go the way of Team Dog.
Yeah, there's no contest here. No Phantasm for a bit. No Clockwork to help them. Just going to be a nice Roche coming out here for the side of Team Dog. And now another second life coming out for IYD. Abyssal Blade flying out now as well. So that's all done. He's going to be so tanky in front. Level 25. Very close. Just about 200 EXP off. So you're going to have to contend with that spike as well on the Spectre. MG.Trust, they're not too far behind on paper. 5k behind in net worth. But this is really starting to fall into what Team Dog wanted. You talked about the late game timing earlier. 30 minutes have passed. It's only going to get worse past this point. Savage is not big enough to face off against what's lined up from In Your Dream. The Silver Edge is constantly delayed out from Death, and there's only so much you can expect Fearless to do on an Underlord. Like, he has held out, he's still farming great, but this is not the kind of hero Fearless really styles on. Beyond just lane domineering and dominance, it's not something he can make some plays with. And all you can hope for is for him to stall the game out long enough that Savage gets some more catch-up for him.
Bot tier 2 gonna drop fairly quick.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Run of Atos out. It looks like it was onto the Spectre. Mid lane, Arbed gonna make a jump in onto Boombill. Get Yule's up, Ice. Let's have the Rolling Thunder if he wants. Still Boombill surviving, but eventually In Your Dream will come in. Does get the killer now, Arbed trying to go for more. Does catch out Fearless. Ice, not gonna commit the Rolling Thunder. Doesn't really want to dive the tier 3 tower yet. While Savage trying to force out the top tier 3. Eventually he is going to TP back.
Oh,
no,
Abyssal.
In Your Dream comes in with the Abyssal Blade. And the Laguna is there, and they do catch him. Now back onto the CK. In Your Dream feeling very confident. Arbed will be there to back him up. The Remnant is going to catch him. Death is also going to die. What a play out from In Your Dream.
Just revealing that Abyssal in the biggest way possible. Reminding Savage that he can't overextend like that while Haunt is up. And Savage now again gets the Satanic up. That means he has no buyback. It is fairly short respawn still. And there are still some tier 2 towers for Team Dog to go through. But they've widened the lead very much heavily in their favor. 8k up, 26-33. And all you can hope for is Fearless to just keep doing this. Throwing out the pits, throwing out the Firestorm to clear out the creep waves. The towers will still fall. And you still have to contend with the Aegis on In Your Dream. He has it for a full about 2 minutes more. So he's just going to be confident into that high ground.
They will go. Oh, Abyssal comes back out again. Fearless in big trouble. The Rolling Thunder's going to come through, and they do get another kill. Looking for more. Cogs, Boombill, going to be alright. In fact, no, he's not. He gets stunned up. Arbed's going to jump in straight after him. The Clockwork's gone. Now they can commit for this tier 3 tower. Buybacks will be expended. Savage going to respawn very soon, and that'll be enough for the side of Team Dog. Be happy to back out. I mean, plus In Your Dream is so close to buying a full butterfly out, he may as well just go finish that off.
Yeah, no rush here for Team Dog. 13k lead. They are just getting bigger and bigger as this game goes on. Abed now second in that fort, overtaking 23 Savage. So they are really starting to work this map a lot more. Space is getting limited for MG.Trust to find that escalation in terms of farm. And you look at that win probability from Dota Plus, Mike. There was a big crash. This was really MG.Trust's game early on while they were farming up, while they were finding those early kills. But now, 81% the way of Team Dog. And that's just set to get worse. In Your Dream, the butterfly you mentioned, 200 gold off. Once you have that, the physical hits are not going to do it. The illusions are just going to be stopped from death. They do smoke up for a bit here on the side of MG.Trust, but they're not really able to get anything done beyond a couple of wards being dropped. And have to just farm together as a team now and try to ride out this rough spot. Hope that Savage can farm big enough and hope that the Silver Edge comes out at some point.
Find out. There's a butterfly now. I mean, you got the Shadow Blade up on Death. He's very close to having the full Silver Edge, but in all honesty, I'm not really sure if that's going to make a hell of a lot of difference. Definitely going to help a bit, but got everyone else to worry about as well. Just too many things to be concerned about here if you are Motivate.Trust. Smoke up, trying to use In Your Dream as bait, but nobody on Motivate is really falling for it. Now just sitting back and waiting for Team Dog to come to them. Savage does not want to get caught out right now. Afu almost catches him with a Light Strike Array, but not quite there. Looks like Team Dog, they're just going to try and dominate the map. Tier 4 items are up anyway, so they may as well just go ahead and farm those. Motivate.Trust, they will venture outside their base to try and get a couple themselves. They need to be a bit quick here.
Yeah, it's not on their side quite yet, that luck on the drops. They do have the leveler. At least they also managed to pick up a Princess Knife along with a Ninja Gear. So all filled up in the tier 4s. We'll see if that is going to make enough of a difference. Team Dog still have a 14k lead. MG.Trust. This is the point as well where this Skyrat really drops off. There's just not much damage coming out anymore from Q. There is a little bit more magic resist flying out here from the side of MG.Trust. And of course, Q's just super squishy, so has to watch that positioning. You do see an Octarine finished up from Ice. Lower cooldowns overall, going to be more annoying to deal with a Pango. But you have that Silver Edge up on Death. If he can catch In Your Dream, he's not going to be that tanky. They could find themselves an opportunity to find the biggest target on the map if he could find the opening. It's going to be really hard to catch In Your Dream out. He's been very conservative in this match. But that's really MG.Trust's one big hope.
Mid lane, Fearless. Gonna show himself for a second, just throwing out the Firestorm. Savage has a Divine Rapier queued up after quite a few items.
There it goes.
I mean, it's one of those games, you may as well. But still both teams kind of respecting each other's potential here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Nobody wants to make the first move, though. They are going to just kind of wait it out, see if the other will make a mistake first. They aren't, though.
Yeah. Patience here. Next rush is going to be up in half a minute. Looks like Team Dog is going to be set up to take that as they are clearing that top tier 2. No outer towers left for MG.Trust. And they also don't have vision on the map. It's all under the control of Team Dog. So you've got to be cautious as They are just basically stuck in their high ground now. Not many options to farm. And the lead just constantly grows wider. 18k now for the side of Team Dog as they've just got free reign. Could just go for that. Roche is going to spawn up. They've got the courier to watch. Ice right on point. Should know it's up.
I guess that's the play, right? Go for that Roshan. The Aghanim Scepter blessing is going to be on it as well. That's who do you even give it to? Like, do you want to give it to the Spectre for that Shadow Step? Seems unnecessary, but at the same time, you wouldn't really mind it too much.
Yeah, I'd say Ice could also enjoy it with the Shield Crash Swashbuckle coming in. Could be a nice amount of DPS as well. They do have the Clockwork Flares coming out, so they know when Roche is happening. The issue is, can they make something happen with the info? They're going to have to try to walk up there, and it's going to be a tricky fight.
They're going to try and go after Boombill. Ice going to jump over the cliff, straight into the cogs as well. Gets the hammer camera off, puts him on the cliff. They don't have what it takes to get him right now, though. They're trying. Laguna comes through onto Savage. There's Boombill going down. And they'll feel much safer now going after that Roshan without the clockwork. That is exactly what they'll do. Straight back for the Roshan. I don't believe Motivate can really allow this to go down, but they don't really seem to have much of a choice in the matter. They're just going to have to let it go.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to find the angle, so they're going to have to deal with the Aegis, the Cheese, and the Ag's Blessing coming through now. It does go to In Your Dream, so it is the Shadow Step, which is still a scary prospect. Like, this is one consistent way to punish split push out from the Spectre. We saw it once with a Haunt, but with a Shadow Step, that's a lower cooldown on a single target, and you only need one target to go to if you are just stopping a split push. So it's a really good upgrade for In Your Dream. Second Life is really nice to have as well. And now the game just got that much harder for MG.Trust as the lead widens to 25k. Take a look at Dota Plus. Has evened out at 86% the way of Team Dog. So a huge advantage, but a little bit of leeway left for MG.Trust. It's probably just a morphling effect, as that can do a ton in the late game as well. It's just that Savage is not nearly as farmed as In Your Dream. 23k net worth compared to 36k of IYD. Doesn't even compare.
Oh, it doesn't. Moonshot brought up now by In Your Dream. He's attacking a lot faster now. He does have the Ags up as well, so the Shadow Step is there. But we are still at that stage where they don't want to go high ground without finding a kill. Motivate.Trust don't want to go below high ground without without finding a kill themselves.
Nope.
There's the Shadow Step. They found one. It's going to be Boombill. He does have buyback. Savage going to sneak around for a bounty. Like Ice might kind of get the gist that he was around somewhere there. They aren't really going to try and force the buyback out from Boombill. They're just going to leave it be for now.
Yeah, just again playing it safe here on the side of Team Dog. Maybe a bit too safe. Not like they have anything to lose by playing the farm game, I suppose. So no issues here. You are seeing Savage looking for maybe cutting creeps. He is still smoked up. Just farming as safe as he can. But Team Dog is slowly clumping down mid. Now this is where the high ground of MG.Trust really shines. Fearless just presses Q, and the push stops for a moment. That's just the power of the Underlord in the late game. Not much you can really do, Team Dog, unless they want to pile their bodies up.
Oh,
force
Four-star.
that Fearless.
Fu once again getting a great 4-star play off, and Fearless is going to die. He can buy back. He will hold out for now, but In Your Dream is pretty in deep. Trying to get more. We'll find a double. And that is the second time Fu has 4-star Fearless and got away with it. Meanwhile, Savage being caught out down at the bot lane. Arbit going to hold him down. He does have a waveform, but he doesn't have the mana for it. And he's also going to go down. All heroes having buyback. Even a repair kit to defend this tier 3 tower. But it seems though Team Dog is definitely going to be looking to just try and force these buybacks out right here, right now.
That should be the play of the game. They've got the Aegis for about a minute and a half more than enough time to take these objectives. While these heroes are down, a really long respawn on Savage and Fearless, so those are the ones that they can force out, and they're just gonna go.
Once again, who are they jumping on the back lines? Looks like In Your Dream was trying for Q. Glimmer Cape will save him. The buybacks do come out. Team Dog, they're gonna back off for now. They do still hold on to that Aegis. G's on Arbit. Another repair kit out, but In Your Dream, he does a lot of damage to the tower, so he will just completely ignore it. Fearless getting caught. Savage clearing out the creep wave, but now Arbit look to jump in. Nice. Come in as well. Havoc Hammer going to knock them back a little bit. Boom Bell may have just been caught with that Laguna. He should have buyback, and he does. He can use it straight away. Arbit trying to force it out, but won't quite get it out. They do get the bot rats. They still have plenty of time to go for more. Arfu will have his Aeon Disc proc. It's not really about Arfu, it's about In Your Dream here. This is the man they need to kill.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Team Dog still hesitating a little bit.
They don't have much time left in the Aegis.
Oh,
Good kill on the
no.
Courier, though.
That was the Hex. The full sight device on Fearless is now gone.
Ooh, that's gonna be costly. That's one big piece of control they're gonna be missing out on. Still no Aegis on IYD, so they have a moment of vulnerability here if they want to commit on this defense.
It's really hard though. Like, In Your Dream's got the cheese up as well. They're going to go in with the Rolling Thunder. Ice looking to get this started. Who are they going to aim for though? Well, they don't really find anyone, so they're back into the racks. Ice still going with this Rolling Thunder. Back into Savage, dodging out the hook shot as well from the Clockwork. That'll be enough. Two lanes of racks have been taken out. Have to go back and defend a little bit. They do have a 40k net worth advantage for Team Dog. With that, I mean, there's only one lane left.
Yeah. They are really playing defensive, though. I'm just kind of flabbergasted as how much respect they're giving here to MG.Trust. I guess there's always an opportunity to bounce back in, but you'd reckon with 40k up, 2 racks, or at least 1 full racks, 2 melee racks up, you'd be fairly comfy in forcing something out. They still hold a cheese as well. So, really good spot. They do smoke up here on Team Dog. They can't just drag In Your Dream in with a haunt.
I didn't realize In Your Dream was literally at 42k net worth. Shadow Step, or rather just Haunt, going to be expended. But they have found Savage, and Savage is going to go down. The Bloodthorn out from the Spectre going to be enough, and that was a dieback. Onto death they go. They'll find the CK. This should pretty much spell the end of the game. How do you defend without this Morphling? Death's going to buy it back. They're going to give it a shot. Fearless is copying a lot of damage. The Reality Rift is going to be there, but it's just nowhere near enough damage. Death will go down a second time. And that'll be it. In Your Dream running into the fountain, just having a bit of a shower for himself. And they do call the GG well played. And that'll be a tied series between Motivate.Trust and Team Dog.
Yeah, really explosive last game for both sides. That is the closer for groups as well. Good showing from Team Dog, correcting their issues from game 1. MG.Trust, they went back to that Savage special in the Morphling, but they went with something that could have been active in Death's CK, but it wasn't something that provided in team fight. Fearless as well was winning out in this lane fairly nicely. It's just when it comes down towards the end, your Underlord doesn't do as much for you. It's really just a walking aura. Maybe you can get some damage out, but it couldn't open up enough opportunities for MG.Trust to come back in, and Team Dog do just overtake. In Your Dream, given all the space in the world on the map to grow big, does secure Team Dog the last win in the last match for groups.
Well, with that, John, of course, that is going to be it for us tonight. I believe we are going to have a one-day break before we do start the playoffs, so everyone enjoy the break while we can. And let's hope the patch does come out tomorrow as well. That'd be a lot of fun. You know, I'm one for chaos, John. I reckon we just jump into a new patch while the playoffs have started.
Oh, yeah.
Who the hell cares? All the players want the exact same thing anyway. And that should make it a lot more fun. Still with that, it is MLP Dota and it is JohnXFire. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you after a day break for those playoffs. But tonight, we'll see you later.